about it, Frank? What do you say to telling Mary about this conversation?
Mary's about the last person in the world I want to know any of this.
I can understand that. The point is, your sister thinks I've been persecuting you because I suggested in print that you weren't telling the whole truth. When in fact, you lied about the 6,500 because you're being blackmailed over an affair with Jill Coleridge.
It's not blackmail.
Come off it, Frank. But you've lent that kind of money to your friend, whoever he is, if he hadn't known about you and Jill.
No.
Then in my book, it's blackmail. I was justified in raising a few questions.
And you want Mary to know about it?
I want to set the record straight. I value her opinion.
So do I.
I know this is going to be painful for both of you. And I'm sorry about that part of it. But I haven't been unfair or irresponsible. And it matters to me that Mary understands that. So if you won't tell her, I will.
You don't give me much choice, do you? If she has to know about it, I wanted to hear it from me. Ask her to come in then, will you?
Sure.
Finelli, two things. If for whatever reason you decide you have to write about any of this, I'd appreciate some warning.
All right.
And secondly, you'll know there's some reason why I didn't file that claim for the 6,500, but she doesn't know what it is. I didn't think I had to tell her that someone knew about us and then made that collateral for a loan. I don't want you to tell her about that either.
I have no reason to.
Good. Well, see if Mary's still waiting there for us.
Yeah.
What was that all about, anyway?
Frank wants to see you.
What could you say to him that you couldn't say in front of me?
He'll tell you all about it. Listen, when you're through here, if you feel like it, give me a call, okay?
Are you serious?
If you want.
Frank,
Hey,
would you please tell me what's going on?
Dr. Coleridge, may I ask why you didn't say anything about my wife?
Say anything?
Now, come on. I just had a long session with her. I saw the angiograms. I understand her condition. What I don't understand is how you, as a physician, can justify not having said anything.
Well, Doctor, this may be rather difficult for you to accept. But the fact is, your wife asked me not to tell you, and I respected her wishes.
So in other words, you've been letting her walk around with a time bomb in her head, and you haven't done anything about it.
Nothing of the sort. I've looked at those angiograms, and I know perfectly well what they mean. Elle and I have discussed them and what our options are.
And decided to do nothing?
That was Nell's decision. She had good reasons, and I didn't think it was my place to start telling her what to do.
There are two aneurysms, two places in her head where the arteries are weakened so that they can go at any moment.
I know what an aneurysm is.
Well, then presumably you understand, Doctor, that if any one of those aneurysms goes, she could die in a matter of minutes.
Yes.
All right. Now, one of those aneurysms is at a junction of three arteries, so it's clearly unoperable. But The other one can be removed by surgery, and it will reduce the risk of fatality by 50%.
If everything goes well.
And you call yourself a friend?
Doctor, look, I know you're upset, and it certainly is a very grim situation. And
Hey, I didn't come here for sympathy. I came here for a little help. Now, since you're such a good friend of Nell's, it occurred to me that maybe you'd have better luck with her than I've had.
At what?
Something has to be done. In my opinion, the treatment of choice is surgery.
Well, Nell doesn't want surgery. She's just too afraid of what might happen. Something might go wrong.
Nothing's going to go wrong.
You don't know that. I mean, she could come out of it with an aneurysm repaired and damage from brain surgery.
Doctor, that is a risk that we have to take.
She doesn't want to take it, and I can't say that I disagree. After all, she wants to live whatever time remains to her with all her faculties. And furthermore, even if everything went well, she still doesn't want to waste her time in recuperation.
All right. Well, what about the iron silicone infusion technique they developed out in California?
Well, it's worked in a few cases, but it's still very new. It's only been tried on a handful of people. There aren't any long-range survival statistics, and the chances of thrombosis are quite significant.
So in other words, you don't want to do anything.
I've considered everything there is to do, and so is Nell.
Nell needs is somebody who will help give her some courage to fight. Right now, she's still in a state of shock at the idea of dying. She is not thinking clearly.
Doctor, have you fully considered the danger of what you're suggesting? I mean, I think we should leave this all to Nell.
Your friend Finelli went out and found himself some answers to some of his own questions. And beyond that, he found some answers to some other things, too. I think you ought to know what they are.
I don't understand. You answered all of his questions.
A lot of what I told Finelli and you was a lie.
What did you lie about? The fall wasn't an accident. I knew it wasn't.
Now, wait, just hold it a minute. Let me tell you, okay?
Okay.
There's not much more I can say about the fall. It's when we get to the $6,500 that things begin to get complicated.
Was it your money?
Yes. And it was my retirement pay from the force, and I had put it into the savings account to keep Delia from getting her hands on it, but I didn't intend to transfer it to the campaign account.
What was it for, then?
A loan.
You were gonna lend somebody $6,500?
Yes.
Who?
I didn't explain this part of it to Finelli because he and Nick Szabo know each other. And Finelli would figure out some way of getting the whole story out of Nick.
What does Nick Szabo have to do with it?
A friend of mine owed Nick Szabo close to $10,000.
What friend?
I didn't tell Finelli that, and I can't tell you either. You'll understand in a few minutes. The debt was overdue, and this guy was under a lot of pressure to pay.
Well, what kind of a debt was it?
Gambling, mainly the horses.
But I thought no one can prove that Nick Szabo's in the gambling business.
Knowing it and proving it are two different things, Mary. Anyway, the morning of the fall, I took the money out of the bank, and I stopped by the hospital to see Nick. He hadn't called me. He didn't offer me a campaign contribution, like I said. I said it had come to my attention that my friend owed him a considerable sum of money. And I asked Nick to cut off his credit. The guy shows all the signs of being a compulsive gambler, Mary. I know his family. I didn't want to see him get into serious trouble, you know.
Well, what did Nick say to that?
Just what I expected. That he didn't know what I was talking about. Because the thing Nick does not want is a hassle with the 12th precinct where he knows I have some friends. So I hope it did some good. I don't know.
Frank, why didn't you tell us this to begin with? I just don't understand.
You will, honey. Just let me get through this the way it all happened. All right, sweetheart?
Yes.
My friend was busy that afternoon, and I couldn't see him. So when I came back to the hospital around 5, I still had the money in an envelope in my pocket.
You came to see Pat about the party.
Well, yes, among other things. I went up the East Wing staircase, and whatever happened, and I fell.
Frank,
Please, Mary, please, let me finish. I know you're going to have a lot of questions, honey, and I'll answer them, I promise. But let me get through this, okay?
I'm sorry.
I guess word got around pretty fast. My friend heard about the fall. He'd gotten a message I'd been in to see him. He assumed I had the money with me, you see. Nick was apparently leaning on him pretty hard. He was scared enough to go to the emergency room, and he managed to get the envelope out of my jacket.
Frank,
It's the truth, Mary. So I couldn't file the insurance claim because I knew what had happened to the money. And I'm going to get it back.
but none of this makes any sense. Why did you feel that you had to lie about any of it?
I'm going to have to go on lying about it, Mary. My friend has some very good reasons why he doesn't want his family or his professional associates to know he was in hock to Nick Szabo, which is why I didn't give Finelli any of the details. He only knows the guy was pressured to repay the debt. Can you understand that?
I can understand it. But I don't understand who this person is or why you're protecting him.
I don't want to do this, Mary. But if I don't tell you, Jack will. And he doesn't begin to understand what it's all about.
Frank, you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to tell me.
Yes, I do. But the problem is, this is going to change things with us. We're both going to have to give up something, which is your idea of who I am.
Oh, Frank, no. I know who you are. I love you. Nothing can change that.
I lied. And I'm going to go on lying, unless Finelli decides to write about all this. Because the person that I'm protecting knows something about me. And if he tells what he knows, everything begins to come apart. Mother and Da would be hurt, and Dee, and the baby, even Bob. I'm pretty sure it would also cost me the election.
What is it?
I'm in love with someone who's not my wife. And we've loved each other for the past 3 years. After the election, I'd planned to leave Delia.
Frank.
My friend found out about it. He let me know he'd appreciate a loan in order not to share his information with the rest of Riverside.
But that's blackmail.
I guess it is.
Who are you in love with?
Jill Coleridge.
Bucky, I want to talk to you. Bucky, I know about Nell's aneurysms. Now, why is she shutting me out so completely? Is it because of me, something I did or didn't do?
I think it's because you're the one person that can make dying real to her. With the rest of us, she can pretend with you she can.
So, in other words, I'm the one who can make it worse.
Except that maybe pretending isn't the answer.
Is that the reason she won't agree to any kind of treatment? Because then she couldn't go on pretending?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't want her to die. Bucky, there may be a chance for her to get some help. There's a new technique they've developed out in California.
What sort of technique?
Well, now they infuse a mixture of silicone and iron filings into the artery. Then they move it with an electromagnet to the weakened area of the artery wall.
Yeah?
Well, then the silicone hardens, and it reinforces the artery wall, so that the chances of a breakdown are much, much less.
That sounds so simple.
Yeah, well, they even do it under a local anesthetic.
Well, aren't there contraindications?
Yeah, well, there's always the danger of clotting. If that happens, it could lead to a blood clot and thrombosis. And then it's still a highly experimental technique. But, Bucky, it's got to be a better risk than doing nothing at all.
Seneca, if it were you, would you have it done?
Yes.
Or did you suggest it to Aunt Nell?
I tried, but she's not in any mood to listen to me. And Ed Coleridge is totally ineffectual. He'll agree to anything she asks.
But he doesn't agree with you about the new technique.
Oh, he's being cautious. Of course it's taking a chance, but doing nothing is taking a lot bigger chance.
Yeah.
Bucky, will you talk to Nell? Now, she won't listen to me. She'll give you a hearing. At least get her to consider it. Read up on some of the work they've been doing. That's all I ask.
I don't see any reason why she shouldn't do that.
There isn't any. Look, Bucky, I know you care about her. Well, I care about her, too. And I would not recommend this unless I was absolutely certain that it was the best way.
Okay, I'll try.
Whatever you do, whatever she says, don't back away, Bucky. Because that small aneurysm, the one we can treat, it could go any time now. Anytime.
Jill?
It began my first year of law school. I had no idea of what was happening to either of us. All I knew was I was more full of energy and excitement than I'd ever been in my life. I thought it was because I was really on my way, because I knew what I wanted and was going after it. Only I realized that what I wanted was Jill.
Does Dee know?
Yes. She apparently knew all along and didn't say anything.
Frank, why did you marry Dee?
Because she needed me. It's just as simple as that. Only, of course, it wasn't me she needed. It was security and acceptance and a sense of belonging somewhere.
And you felt sorry for her.
That was part of it. And she was pretty and sexy and very funny when she felt like it. She was so earnest and eager. And I believed if I made her feel loved and secure, she'd grow up.
Only she didn't.
No. And she resented any expectation that she should. She wouldn't do housework because she said it made her feel like a servant. She wouldn't save money because it made her feel poor. She wouldn't accept responsibility for anything because she was afraid she'd make a mistake. All of which was her way of staying in the center of my attention. And I knew it. But it made me more and more angry and detached.
Oh, Frank. Why didn't you marry Jill to begin with? Why'd you make such a mess out of it? And why? Why did you have Little John when you knew you were in love with Jill?
Little John wasn't planned, Mary. When we found out that Deirdre was pregnant, Jill and I agreed, much as we loved each other and felt so strongly about each other and the things that we shared, we agreed to stop it. And we did. Until one day, late this spring, I saw her in the park, reading in the grass. I just went over to her to say hello.
Oh, Frank. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. The fall changed a lot of things. Jill isn't making any demands. She never has. Dee is doing everything she can to make it work. But I don't love her. I feel sorry for her and sad and more than a little guilty. but I won't ever love her again.
Little John?
I know.
So, someone found out about Jill and you lent him the money so he wouldn't tell.
Yes.
Oh, Frank.
And then Jack began asking questions and turned up enough to put most of it together. His point was that he had reason to doubt a lot of what I said, and you were furious at him for being irresponsible. Only he hadn't been, and he wanted you to know.
Thank you for telling me yourself.
I'm sorry, Mary, about everything.
Listen, I don't think I can talk about it anymore just now. I've got a lot of work to do over at headquarters, so I think I'll just go on over there and do it and think a little bit. Okay?
Sure.
I'll talk to you later on.
Thank you.
In Port Charles, revenge is a priority, relationships are disposable, and good medical care is a necessity. Keep up with this fast-paced city with an all-new episode of General Hospital, weeknights at 10 on SoapNet.